Okay, let me show you something crazy. With just 10 easy steps, this portrait goes from a flat outline to a blocky shaded face to a smooth blended form and then into a hyper-realistic finish. Stick with me, I'll walk you through every step. Alright, so let's start here. On the left is my drawing paper and on the right is my printed reference. Notice how I cropped the reference to show just the face. Forehead to chin, edge to edge. Why? Because in realism, accuracy lives in the face. When it comes to the hair, the background, the head, or the clothing, those can be looser. But the face, the proportions must be spot on. Now, instead of a tiny square grid, I'm using what I call a ruler transfer grid. It's simple. I line up my long wooden ruler right here across both the reference and my paper at the exact same height. So wherever the ruler crosses something important, eyebrow line, eyelid crease, tear duct, base of the nose, top and bottom of the lips, the chin, I put a little tick mark on my paper almost like I'm dropping coordinates. So now, as you can see, I rotate the setup and do the same thing horizontally. Checking widths, okay, nose width, eye corners, lip corners, and cheek edges. Okay, I'm putting all these marks from the reference to the paper exactly where the position of the key features of the face, just the key features, the nose, the eyes, and the lips. Now I bring back the reference and the paper to the actual position, and what I'm doing right now is I got a red pen right here and I just want to make sure that the lines are clearer and bolder on the reference. So don't use the pen on your drawing paper, just on your reference. I do this for me to be able to see like this. You see exactly how all those lines are exactly the same from the reference to the paper. Welcome to step 2. This is about outlining the face and geometric block in. So it's really the fun part right here because it's gonna be easy. Trust me, it's gonna be easy because all those marks will serve as a wonderful, easy guide for us to get the correct proportion of the face. I start with the left cheek and jawline right here, and then what I'm gonna do is I climb to the brow and drop in the left brow and left eye. Okay, so see how fast the features fall into place. That's the beauty of measuring first.
Place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
Okay, so now as I outline, I also start whispering in some shadows, just big geometric shapes. Okay, so think of it like origami folds, triangles under the eyes, planes around the nose, and the block of the upper lip. So the ball of the chin also. So it looks weird now, as you can see, almost robotic. But this is like the skeleton of the realism.
Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping.
Okay, so to summarize this step, this process, what I did was I outlined the eyes, moved down to the nose, then slightly place the lips. Okay, not going into textures yet, just the architecture.
Considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just...
Okay, so and now as you can see, I'm also outlining the shadows on the rest of the face with the major parts as my guide right now, because you already placed the eyes, the nose, the lips exactly where they should be in the drawing, and now you can use them as guides for other shadows, like right here the concentration of dark shadows are on the right side of the face, so I'm outlining them as well using geometric shading and sketching.
Take me back to an age when the...
Okay, so now I go back over the lines, darken them a touch so they don't disappear later. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to draw and magnify the lines and the shades using just the B pencil, because there will be lots and lots of dark pencils. So they will, if I don't do this, I won't be able to see all these lines. And this will guide me later on through the hyper realistic process.
Really understood just how the story ends, but I could feel his.
Okay, so then I get my kneaded eraser to tap out a few highlights, bridge of the nose, cheekbone, lip bridge. So it's like clearing windows so I can see where the light will shine through. Okay, so this is step 3. Now I cover the whole face with a super light veil of tone. I'm using here a sharp H pencil, feather light pressure. Yes, even the highlights get a mist. Trust me, it keeps everything even. Then I grab a B pencil right here to block in the background so the face doesn't float.
Felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where.
Okay, step 4, it's time to blend. This is our initial blending, just tissue wrapped on my finger, very gentle. I'm not scrubbing. I'm just kneading the tones into the tooth of the paper, forehead, nose, cheeks, then lips. I even soften the background. It's already starting to look less like a sketch and more like a skin. Okay, step 5, it's time for the super dark pencil. You have to have one super dark pencil whenever you draw realistic drawing using graphite. And yeah, this time I'm using this Faber-Castell matte 14B. There are times where I use Staedtler black, but this time I'm trying this 14B because it's matte. Okay, and because it goes deep black without that much shiny glare from the regular graphite. So perfect for pupils, upper lashes, nostrils, mouth opening, which are super dark, and those deep creases. So think of this like the nails that hold the drawing together. Once they are locked in, the whole value system makes sense. Okay, once the darkest values or details are in place, let's go to the step 6. This is building the dark shadows. Now I switch from the 14B a while ago, I switched to the 7B right here, and I start shaping the heavy shadows, the jawline, under the nose, under the right lips, right side of the face, but always light pressure. Okay, because don't press hard. Let the pencil do its job. Build the darks with layers, not muscle. Okay, so yeah. And what I'm doing here is I'm layering again and again. I'm using a mix of hatching and cross hatching. It keeps the strokes alive, not flat. I also drop in details like eye sockets, lip corners, nostril wings. So you can see right here, you can see that the form is starting to turn, like the head is carving itself out of the paper.
Bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence.
Okay, step 7, the mid-tones. Using 2 pencils right here. I start with the 3B right here. This blue pencil right here is the 3B. Here's where the transitions happen. I pick up this 3B to connect the shadows from the 7B, which is so dark, to this nice mid-tone shadow right here. And yeah, I use it to soften, okay, the planes under the eye bags, cheekbones, filtrum. Then after this, I'm gonna step down to another a lot lighter pencil, which is the B pencil. But yeah, I love it because it's giving a nice transition with different tones. You can see right there, especially on the right side of the face, the dark shadow that the 7B provides us. And now we go down to the B pencil, smoothing the gradation as I move toward the light. So now it's not just the patches of tone, it's unified skin. Okay, let's go to the step 8, second blending pass. Tissue for the wide areas, then a soft brush, makeup brush for delicate parts. So this already is a finished portrait actually, if you try to think of it. If you want cleaner realism, you can stop here actually. But me, I can't stop here. I want hyper realism, which means pores, textures, and patience.
Take me back to a day when we were.
All right, deep breath. Time to torture myself. This is going to be about pores and textures. Okay, let's make this smooth, already complete skin tone. Let's make it, push it even further to hyper realism. So, as you can see right now, I rotate between the matte 14B that I used a while ago, the 7B, and the B, depending on how dark the detail should be. So for this hyperrealism portrait, I'm using just three pencils, or process rather. The 14B is now lighter in my hand, not as heavy compared to the first time I used it a while ago. I use it just for the darkest pinpoints, eyelashes, crease shadows, sharp pores, on the nose, or tiny cuts on the lips. So that's what you are seeing right now. So it's like a little bit of pointillism going on right here, but a little lighter. I don't want to put pressure on this all these details because I don't want it to look like they are pimples or dirt on the face. So yeah, I'm just basically using this 14B for the darkest dark of the skin, the details. Okay, so like I'm imposing the nostrils right here, the dark shadows on the right side of the nose, and then some pointillism right here on the nose also, just to show the darkest pores of the drawing. And then I brush in between, always brush in between, then layer again, then brush again. So it will help if you have a makeup brush or any soft brush. Yeah, now I'm trying to put some definition again of the pores of over the face, especially here on the right side. Okay, just make sure to make it softer. If you weren't able to make it soft, just use a brush to soften it right here. Okay, and then I'm trying to darken even more some parts of this right side of the face where the shadows, the dark shadows, fall. Okay, so and also here on the lips. Okay, and under the lips there are several very dark visible pores on top, especially here on the chin, and going over to the jawline right here, and also some dark pores here on the forehead. So this is the 14B. I love it because this is a matte pencil right here. Okay, so now this is the 7B. This is going to be my workhorse here. So I use like a stippling method or circulism. Okay, tiny circular motions and little hatch marks, always irregular. Okay, some clustered, some spaced. Okay, because that kind of randomness, it is what makes the skin looks alive. So as you can see, I'm always brushing after detailing. So I think this is not really hard to do. This pores, drawing pores, literally drawing pores. Okay, and now I go back with the matte 14B for the creases of the lips and the details. Now, at the beginning, we are not concerned about details and textures. Now we are. We are now defining and making everything look hyper realistic. Okay, so yeah, I love drawing the lips, the creases. They are so defined and so detailed. So I'm using, again, with this step, I'm using just three pencils. The pencils that I already used in the beginning, the 14B matte pencil of Faber-Castell, and then the 7B, and then the B pencil. Actually, the B pencil right here, as you can see, is for the faintest pores, especially on the lid side. Okay. Okay, again, between every pass, I dust the area with a brush that soften the texture so they don't look like pimples or dirt, okay? Because hyperrealism isn't about every pore sharp, it's about balancing sharp and soft. Now, yeah, for the final stretch right here, I bring out the electric eraser. This is step 10, the erasing part, and tap in the brightest pores and specular highlights in the eyes, nose tip, lips. Okay, so as you can see right now, this is a very enjoyable part of hyperrealism. You are erasing. You need to have an electric eraser. Every artist should have this one. And then this is the Tombow Mono Zero eraser for fine hairs and lines of light. Okay, so yeah, this is also a very nice tool for hyperrealism, even for realism, or even with other media. You really need to have all these erasers. So this is already, I can't believe we're already on the last step right here, the erasing and detailing part of white highlights right here, and I'm still brushing. And then this is the needed eraser right here. Yeah, and that's it. From measurement to block in, shadows to textures, pores to highlights, a full hyper-realistic graphite portrait start to finish. Okay, so and to my kapwa artists, konting tiyaga, malaking resulta. Keep drawing, keep learning. This is BMD Portraits. See you in the next one.